What's up, folks? Welcome to December. Welcome to this last stretch of 2019, and almost approaching the mid-year point of the school year. Time for some reflection, right? This time last year, I was wondering whether or not I still wanted to be a principal, and I decided to come back, but that's a past story. Check out the blog to see the reflections on that. But this year, I'm thinking about how am I doing as a leader, and how is our school doing in service of our mission and meeting our goals and theory of action for the year. I used to reflect on progress and success at the end of the year, which makes sense, but I started making this shift to reflecting quarterly and at least reflecting mid-year. So I'll say this, as we're getting into this final stretch, these last couple of weeks before we take a couple of weeks off with that much needed break and rest in December, it's some time to pull out your goals and theory of action, whatever you call that, strategic plan, your foci, what have you. But what did you say you were going to accomplish, or on what were you planning to focus on this year? Pull that sheet out, pull out that spreadsheet, that PowerPoint, whatever version is in, look at it. Are you doing any of that? Did you already shift gears? Did you somehow get sucked into a distraction or flavor of the month? Was there a shiny object that pulled you away and pulled your team away for a couple of months, maybe the whole semester? If not, maybe you've been focused on it. How well are you doing? Are you seeing any signs of growth? Are you seeing any change? Now, a lot of times what we want to shift is we want this big data to shift, these big metrics. Shane Safir calls it satellite data, right? The state tests, the surveys that we give at the end of the year. We want that stuff to shift. And of course, it's hard to measure that stuff unless you're doing a mid-year assessment for math or English, language arts, or science or something. It's hard to see that. But you may see the smaller things shift. Are you seeing different things, the right things happening in the classroom? Are you seeing changes in your staff meetings? Where you're trying to shift norms in your adult culture, your adult learning space? Were you trying to see patterns of participation shift? Were you trying to see just attendance and engagement at staff meetings shift? Maybe you were focusing on small team meetings, grade level meetings, or subject area meetings. Maybe you were trying to start professional learning communities. Anyways, the point here is that, has any of those things moved? And if not, you got 3 weeks to try to make, a final push for the year. And maybe it might be a better call to just forecast what you want to see happen in the beginning of 2019, in the beginning of the spring. It's pretty effective as a leader to try to make a prediction or envision or really just articulate where you want to see things moving based on what you've seen and based on what the goals are, right? If you could do that with your leadership team and have your leadership team make those kind of assessments, even better. But if not, you as a leader at least can say, look, you know what? We've been on this road for about 4 months so far this year, and this is what I'm seeing. I've been in some classrooms over the course of the last semester, and this is what I've seen. And this is what our goals say, so I actually really want to see this instead. For us as a school, we've been focusing this year, trying to focus on conversations in the classroom, academic conversations, structured academic talk, something that Jeff Zweers talks a lot about, Zaretta Hammond talks a lot about. And for me, as a leader, and as an administrator, I've been in classrooms looking for that. Sure, I've been looking for other things, learning objectives, language objectives, scaffolds for English learners, what have you, but I'm still trying to see, are kids talking? Are we making space for kids to talk? using content, language, and content vocabulary? Is that space happening? Are we giving them scaffolds, and then we're taking the scaffolds away at the right time? Anyway, so I now have 4 months of data, right, to see how did we do. And together with my administrative team and specifically with my instructional leadership team, my assistant principal can support that team in trying to make a push and trying to make some recommendations to try to have a foci for the spring semester, because spring's coming, right? And it's pretty easy to pick up this shiny object syndrome all of spring semester, be doing something different in January, something different in February, something different in March. But instead, this is the time when you pull back out your goals for the school year. Make sure that you put that in front of your staff already if they're not looking at that. Make sure you're highlighting that and saying, look, we're not going to do something different in the spring semester. We're going to keep doing what we said we were going to do in the fall, right? Or we're actually going to take a bigger chunk out of it and really go into it to see if we can make some progress. So all that to say, in summary, as the spring's coming, try to get clearer on your micro steps are going to push you closer to your goals. Try to resurface some of those goals and movements and best practices and expectations so that staff can actually make some headway towards that. And if you don't have any goals, sit down and start writing some goals, and based on what you've seen the last couple of months, if not the last couple of years, good luck. Keep pushing. Keep fighting for the kids. Let's do it.